You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife, Women of Vision, bought award. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Yesterday evening, Harry's wife turned up at an awards ceremony. It was the Women of Vision Award, not a set of awards that I had any familiarity with prior to her foreshadowing this event in PR puff pieces, telling us that she was going to receive this award. With much that Harry's wife does, she not only has to tell you ahead of it that she's doing it, then tell you all about it when she's doing it, and then she'll have to repeatedly bring it back up again in the future, because she has to milk such appearances for all they're worth, because her narcissism demands it. She does not think to herself, okay, I've got this coming up, I'm going to milk the fuck out of it. No, what she does is she simply ensures that the PR people make reference to it ahead of time, so that A, she uses the future to control the now and draw fuel from it, and also, of course, to try and create maximum publicity for the event when it eventually rolls up. Then when it appears, she again ensures that there's coverage of it, to allow her to assert control over people, to manage her facade and to draw fuel from the responses. And then at some future point, she regularly has the PR people instructed to go through the back catalogue, pretty thin as it is, dredging up whatever they can in order to make her look good, quite typically often referring back to her wedding from 5 years ago. Doubtless, other events of the past are referred to, and it may well be that the Women of Vision Award is brought up in the future. But we're dealing with it in the present. The Daily Mail reports Harry's wife retells NYC gala story of how she enjoyed TV dinners and Jeopardy after school. Not only are those stories absolutely dull in themselves, she's got nothing new to add. And all she can do is effectively cut and paste those anecdotes from before. Some of you may be familiar with a female journalist called Kate Adie. She's a British journalist who was well known for going to war-torn locations and reporting. She didn't mess about. Gutsy individual, very good at speaking to camera, filing reports, and plenty of spunk about her. And I mean in the bravery sense, you degenerates. I remember attending an event a number of years ago at which she was the main speaker, and I got to speak to her thereafter. Really engaging individual, plenty to say, very down-to-earth, and interesting. In fact, I attended 2 other events where Kate Adie spoke at, and naturally there are 1 or 2 anecdotes that overlap, but her speeches were varied. Why? Because not only was she inherently interesting as a person and an accomplished speaker, but she recognised that it was important to have an array of different things to talk about to entertain one's audience, but also she'd had such a vast array of experiences that she was, of course, able to pluck these various anecdotes, if you like, from a tree of many, many different experiences. So if you could envisage, if you will, in your mind's eye now, valuable viewers, a tree, a great big apple tree, and it's got hundreds of apples upon it, each one representing a different experience. Kate Adie can pluck them from there. For instance, one of her stories related to when she was with the British Army, and she needed to use the toilet in the middle of the night. She was in the desert. She was instructed that she could go out, but was minded by one of the soldiers to say, you might want to try and find some kind of bush to hide behind. She looked as if to say, it's pitch dark out of there. She wandered over, hitched up her skirt, pulled down her knickers, did a wee, and then returned. And it was only then that the soldier told her that you should be mindful of the fact of going behind a bush, because most of the soldiers would be utilising their night vision goggles. So naturally, squaddies being what they are, they'd availed themselves of the opportunity to have a look at Kate Adie having a wee in the desert. She told that with self-deprecating humour and got a good laugh from all around the room, one of many, many interesting and entertaining anecdotes that she shared. But now let's consider the tree that Harry's wife has. Oh, look at that. It's got about 3 apples on it. Climbing backwards out of a car, Procter & Gamble story, TV dinners and Jeopardy. Maybe there might be 2 or 3 others. But there is a paucity of information. Why? She's boring. She's dull. She has no talent. She's empty. A complete contrast with the capabilities and achievements of Kate Adie and so many other people. So once again, people are turning up to a dinner, no doubt having forked out quite a lot of money. And what are they treated to? The Duchess of Bronzer saying, "I enjoy TV dinners and Jeopardy." Oh, take me now, dear Lord. No doubt most of the audience was thinking, spare me this beige boredom. But let's dive in and find out more about what went on at the Women of Vision Bort Award ceremony. Harry's wife retold a favourite story of how she enjoyed a TV dinner and Jeopardy after school as she accepted a feminist award at a glitzy NYC gala. Addressing the Woman of Vision Awards at the Ziegfeld Ballroom in Manhattan Tuesday evening, the Duchess of Sussex told of how she'd read Ms. magazine while at school, the publication founded by feminist icon Gloria Steinem, who presented Harry's wife with Tuesday's honour. She shared a funny anecdote from her childhood, revealing that the Ms. Foundation's Ms. magazine played a role in her upbringing. Probably rolled up by her father and administered to her bottom when she had misbehaved. Recalling how she would come home, settle in after a day of school with her TV tray dinner, and would glance at the publication on the coffee table. Wow, really interesting being told that. But I thought, wasn't she out having Sizzler salads, or was it that she was going and dining naked in Korean noodle bars? Once again, of course, we get the usual revision of history with Harry's wife. She stated, "It's funny because as a young girl I would come home, I would settle in after a day of school, pull up my TV tray dinner, and I would turn on my evening ritual, Jeopardy," she recalled. Now, we've heard this story before, and there are many individuals that don't believe that that's the case and it's just a fabrication that's done to make her seem down to earth and homely. She carried on, "And I would glance at the coffee table where I would see an array of things. It could be the cat's collar, my homework, some mail that had just been brought in." Absolutely scintillating interest, isn't it? I mean, seriously. Many people want to go to these events to hear somebody talk who's inspirational, that lifts them out of the humdrum existence of their own world. And yet, here she is, the Duchess of Boring Beige, reminding you of the humdrum nature of your own existence by saying, "I would see an array of things. It could be the cat's collar, my homework, or some mail that had been brought in, or some magazines." Dear, oh dear, oh dear. The magazine said Ms. on them. The Royal has previously told the same story on her Arsey Wives podcast. Harry's wife's husband, Prince Harry, and her mum Doria Ragland were among guests assembled to watch her receive the accolade. The 41-year-old Duchess of Sussex was indeed a vision as she arrived at the event, modelling a strapless $1,850 gold Joanna Ortiz dress that featured a keyhole cutout at the chest, and where she paired with some strappy $1,350 gold heels from Tom Ford and a matching $1,100 clutch bag by Carolyn Herrera. She appeared to have had her dress, which was created by a Colombian designer, altered for the occasion. Images of the original design show it with straps, which the Duchess opted to go without, no doubt attempting to avoid drawing attention to the linebacker shoulders. Harry joined his wife, Harry's wife, at the awards ceremony where tickets cost a whopping $1,500. What a waste of fucking money that is. While tables cost a minimum of $15,000 to watch on as she received a Woman of Vision honour from her close friend, feminist icon Gloria Steinem, with organisers revealing that the Duchess was being celebrated for her lifelong advocacy for women and girls. How does that lifelong advocacy work? Find a man, dole out spicy poontang, and snare him, utilize him for the purposes of the prime aims, devalue, disengage from, find new man. So, who is it that has enabled Harry's wife to get to where she is? First of all, Papa. He was the one that brought her up. Doria was missing, although she, of course, now reappears as somebody that can be controlled by Harry's wife, and thus she is allowed to turn up at these events. But her father, after everything they did for her, no. He was the one that paid for everything. He was the one that ensured that she was given opportunities in the acting industry. He was the one that treated her like a princess, but ultimately, of course, she was too busy with her lifelong advocacy for women and girls to really take advantage of all of those opportunities that he sent her way. She then, of course, utilised Trevor Engelson for the purposes of advancing opportunities within the acting world, and then utilised a chef for the purposes of utilising opportunities to portray herself as a foodie, and then she ensnared a dim-witted Ginger Prince to ensure that she had an opportunity for self-advancement. Where's the advocacy for women and girls in all of that? All that I see is, girls, make sure you find a man, use him, and get a leg up that way. The advocacy that she purportedly engages in is saying things which sound good, but doing very little, as we've repeatedly seen, and that is the hallmark of certain narcissists. Of course, at the attendance at the event, we see her sashaying through the Hertz rental reception, mouth open as if she's back on the stage with Deal or No Deal, behaving like a briefcase girl. Naturally, she has to be the one that goes in first. She has to lead the way to ensure that she's photographed and that she is ahead of Harry, who follows behind. Of course, after the event, as she's leaving, out comes the grip of doom, as, exiting by the Hertz rental centre again, you see that she has to turn and give that rictus grin to somebody behind her, holding on to Harry, directing him. Although he's leading the way on this occasion, she ensures, of course, that the old grip of doom is being utilised over and over again so that she asserts physical control over a 38-year-old man, rather than just letting them walk out and get in the car like normal married adults. There is this ridiculous show of we're such a happy couple, which naturally is more about her asserting control over him and managing a facade than anything to do with actual happiness. The fact is, Gloria Steinem handed over an award, though she doesn't look particularly thrilled to be having her picture taken with Harry's wife. Perhaps she's waking up to the fact that she's being used. What more can the Mail tell us about the event? Well, inside the event, Harry's wife took to the stage to accept her Women of Vision award, making her way up to the podium to the sounds of Alicia Keys' hit song Girl on Fire. Ugh. Once on the stage, the Duchess gave Gloria a warm hug, physical assertion of control, before moving to address the crowd, thanking guests for giving her such a warm welcome, response to the receipt of fuel. She went on to praise her friend Gloria, 89, for the inspiration that you are, for your mentorship, your sage advice, your extraordinarily cheeky sense of humour, and of course for your incredible friendship. Licky flattery. Harry's wife then offered her congratulations to the evening's other honorees, praising them for the important and meaningful work that you do, fridge magnet platitudes. While I was familiar with most of your work before tonight, nothing could compare to the focus, the determination, the energy I feel from each of you, especially as we all bear witness to you standing in the elegance and power of your strength. Utterly meaningless. But it's the usual word salad flannel that we've come to expect from her. She continued, and I remember them vividly because the pictures were different. There was a diversity that I hadn't seen as often, both of colour and of age, and the names were different. There were congressmen, congresswomen, there were astronauts, and the topics were different, from mothering to being a working mom to heavier topics such as domestic violence, the poverty line, unearthing its roots, where it comes from, and matters of equity. Ah, yes, that buzzword of equity. The Mail then just talks about the cost of some of the items that she's wearing, and then goes on to state, while the Sussexes were seen beaming from ear to ear as they arrived at the event, they seemed keen to avoid any prying questions, opting to skip the event's red carpet live stream after entering via the back of the Ziegfeld ballroom, nullification of threat to control posed by potential difficult questions. In a rather unglamorous start to the evening's proceedings, the pair were seen making their way into the venue via a Hertz car rental arena located at the rear of the space. The Women of Vision website gushes that the mother of two is a feminist, bollocks, champion of human rights, nonsense, and gender equity, tosh, and global role model. Yeah, if you say so. Harry's wife is also a passionate advocate for family rights. That didn't last long. Wasn't that just a letter that was sent to the House speakers to do with parental leave? Where's that got to? Sunk without a trace. And an investor in dynamic female-founded companies. Well, as I've explained to you in parts passing, many of her investments are not financial. They're just simply lending her name to them. The Duchess's bio on the awards site continues. Notice that it's all about the talking rather than the doing. It also states Harry's wife is noted as one of the most powerful, really, and influential, really, women in the world, topping lists such as Times Magazine's Most Influential People, bought, the Financial Times 25 Most Influential Women, Variety Power of Women, bought, and British Vogue's Vogue 25, bought. We're thrilled to announce this year's honorees for the Women of Vision Awards and to celebrate 50 years of progress and power. Well, you're certainly going backwards, Women of Vision, if you're involving yourself with this individual. Teresa C. Younger, the president and CEO of the Ms. Foundation, said in a statement last month about her, and added that Harry's wife, as well as the other award winners, including Black Lives Matter co-founder Latosha Brown, are incredible leaders, and we are grateful to be able to shine a light on their many accomplishments. Well, what are Harry's wife's accomplishments? Hijacking other people's bandwagons. And tireless work, 1 hour a week at Archwell, on behalf of gender and racial equity across the country and the world. There's then some more flannel about what Women of Vision is. And then the Mail continues, the decision to honour Harry's wife at the event has certainly not been without its controversy, with several critics taking to social media to pan the awards ceremony organisers Ms. Foundation over its choice of recipient. Unlike fake organisations like at Ms. Foundation creating awards to massage the egos of Hollywood fake celebrities and failed royals like #Harry's wife, true awards are different, as they celebrate true heroes, ordinary, hard-working people, one person wrote on Twitter. I had a subscription to Ms. magazine when it came out. Today I'm forever done with Ms. and Gloria Steinem for bastardising their foundation to allow these fake awards to be bought for a donation, a Facebook user commented on the awards show programme. Case in point, Harry's wife is the farthest thing from a feminist that I know of. That person is not a feminist. I hope the dollars was worth the bad press this will generate for you. You're getting Markled. Well, the criticism that invariably follows her, and of course the collateral consequence of her buying an award and trying to make it all about her and make her seem like that she's this inspirational figure. What she actually does is, while she might highlight a cause, she's really just highlighting herself. She's attempting to demonstrate that she's this person who is a feminist, although none of her actions support that. That she is inspirational. But if you actually analyse what she does, she doesn't achieve anything, and she just uses other people. What's inspirational about that? Let's have a quick dive below the line to see what people think about her appearance, see what the flavour is. Paul Revere, Boston, always performing, never seems genuine, and I really try to look for it. She's painful to look at. Olive 7 from the United States. What? Harry's wife? What about all female CEOs, entrepreneurs, engineers, scientists, and so on? Why Harry's wife? Subi from Washington in the United States. What has this woman ever done? We don't need a hypocrite like her as a role model for our young girls. How can she be a role model for anyone when all she's done is use people, boyfriends and husbands, to better her social status. She is definitely no role model for anyone, least of all young, impressionable girls. Martha G. from London, a role model for marrying a prince. Always honest, from the United States, unbelievable. Pip, from the United Kingdom, she collects all the awards because she thinks this means she is winning, when I expect a lot of them are negotiated through her PR team. Kate, from Oxford and Devon, worldwide privacy tour. Melissa, from Ontario, in Canada. You know you've reached the big time when you make your entrance through a Hertz car rental lobby. Nosy one, aren't you? From St. Eustatius and Sabah, we want privacy. Enbod from Manchester. What vision exactly? Please do enlighten us. Joseph Garr from the United States. We want privacy. We want privacy. Leave us alone. John Watson. Harry's wife gets a prize just for showing up. Pathetic how society has devolved. Alox. Once again, Princess Catherine wore the gold look better. Travelling Fool. Lifelong advocacy. Is this a joke? Some groups will do anything to get Harry to show up, makes them feel important. 5 from Grand Cayman. She never gets it right. Tom Moncrief from Palm Springs. Harry's wife is so lucky to have made best friends with other B-listers who hand out gongs to her. Royalty is supposed to hand out awards, not accept them. Fargo from the United States. Exactly what has she done to deserve this? Sea Rider, United States. So much for wanting privacy. Delta Miss, Maryland. Meaningless award for the least appropriate choice. In my opinion, 23 from Las Vegas. What a bloody disgrace. B13123 from London. I never knew you could get an award for marrying someone famous. Love Cheese from Stockton-on-Tees in the UK. But what has she actually done to win this? Adolescence from the United States. Quotes, Harry's wife positioning herself as an inspirational figure? Oh, really? She's inspiring young people to break bridges that they once crossed so that there will be no way back to those who once helped you to be where you are today. Kelly from Sydney in Australia. What an awful dress. And on it goes. Now, of course, the Daily Mail is invariably hostile towards her, but it shows the breadth of comments, all recognising that she hasn't done anything, that she's a hypocrite, that basically she isn't an inspirational role model. Plenty of people get it, but she won't go away, because so long as people will look and comment and watch, she will keep doing what she's doing in order to assert control over as many people as she possibly can, driven by her narcissism. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.